Good morning, everybody. We are here at Spike Week for another Sunday Sickos episode. We are going to draft on Draftkings this morning. We are going to draft on Vibez, on hot takes. Excited for everyone to join with me on this one. Let's get into it.
3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Good morning, people. It is the last Sunday in March. We are getting so close to the NFL draft. We are excited for that, of course. My name is Rob Coakley. For those of you who somehow don't know, I'm acting like I'm super important. I'm not. But we are going to draft today on DraftKings. I hope everybody is having a great Sunday morning. It is a gloomy weekend here in New England. Lots of rain and clouds. Sort of up my alley, I suppose. But we are going to draft on DraftKings today. And I was just looking at this DraftKings little contest selection here. They are still just shy of 100,000 people that they need to fill this contest in less than a month. So if you're looking to fire at a contest, that's most likely going to overlay. This $10 one is looking like it will be overlaying. They are doing some $1 tournaments as well that are 20 max entries. So another fun little tournament just to get yourself acclimated with ADP and stuff. But without further ado, perhaps we should just jump right into a draft. So let's do that. And no, I want to enter with cash. Thank you. We will save our crowns for the regular season tournament. So we need 9 more to enter in this contest. And I like the DraftKings scoring personally. Full point PPR with bonuses is a lot of fun in my opinion. So I always like that particular thing. They've improved their product quite a bit over the last couple years. They've added draft boards. If you mix it with our draft hacker, it is truly a fine drafting experience on DraftKings. We need 9 more here. So if you're thinking about hopping in, hop in. Let's look through their current rankings, which they have Chase, Barkley, Bijan, Gibbs, Jefferson. God, it's such a good top 10. They have Derrick Henry in the top 10, though. So going to be a good time. What's up, Tebow? Tebow is in there. So if you're in there, I forgot to tweet out this morning that we were doing this. So, whoops. So we need 6 more right now to fire at this DraftKings tournament. So get in here with me. Let's draft on DraftKings. I'm sore. I had to help somebody move yesterday, which is always a favorite experience of all of us. But we got it done. And I'm just a great person is basically what it is. I'm one of the best people on the planet is what you can take from that. Let's I've been working from the back on this a lot. Let's start from the front this week. A little more calm as we wait for this draft to fill. I've not been drafting as much. Again, I've outlined this from the beginning that pre-draft stuff is going to be limited for me this year. I'm going to focus more on the regular draft cycle. I just needed a little bit of a break of drafting and stuff. So this is sort of just to keep me in the loop of what's going on more than anything. We sort of can talk through things together. I mean, basically, I'm the novice in these drafts at this point in time. And I sort of work my way through it from that regard. So that's how I am approaching the pre-draft drafts. And then we will fire a little more heavily at the regular draft cycle. While we wait, some programming notes. Next Sunday, there will still be a Sunday Sickos, but I will not be hosting. I am going to the worst state in the country, which is Ohio. So I will be in Ohio next weekend. I think Eric is going to fill in. That is the game plan for the moment. Yeah, Tebow, I understand this. Tebow's is the opposite. He's doing a lot of the pre-draft stuff and less on the regular season. Work schedule is crazy. In fairness, mine is also getting super crazy. We have between regular work, which is whatever, and I have a insane filming schedule that starts next weekend. So my filming schedule for April and May is bonkers, and yeah, a lot going on, but we will get drafts in. We will still get drafts in is the game plan. What do we need now? 5 away. So if you want to jump in, there's 5 spots left in this draft to fire at this Draftkings tournament. Let's look at the contest details while we wait. We can see that Moxie's in here. We got 408 Steeler, which I'm guessing is Tebow. Let's look at the payouts. So this is a $10 contest that is going to overlay. In first place is $200,000. Second is $101,000 and $101,670. So thanks, Draftkings, for that. There's some weird numbers that come up. Good morning, Jonathan. I don't know how familiar you guys are with this. I was looking into if you guys have ever seen Ghost Adventures. One of the hosts on there, Aaron Goodwin, his wife just got arrested for putting a hit out on him. And she was going to pay the hitman, I think it was $10,115. Which, where are we coming up with that number? That's what that reminded me of. $101,670 is absolutely wild. Like, I don't love this payout structure. I don't like top heavy tournaments like this, like in terms of any type of space. I think poker did it way too long, and it's not my favorite payout structure. I would like it to be slightly more flat, but I mean, for $10 on a tournament that's going to overlay, you should be firing some bullets into this probably. But yeah, bit top heavy, but that's okay. I think poker sort of unfortunately set the standard for tournaments where the allure became the top prize and not understanding. Yeah, I agree, Mike. That was a wild number to come up with. Absolutely wild number to come up with. So that story is crazy. If you're ever looking for like a wild ride of a story, we still waiting for 5. I know you guys can fill this up. Let's do it. Get in here. Let's fire a Draftkings tournament. It was just a crazy story. She like fell in love with this murderer that's getting life right now, and he was helping her set up a whole thing. Just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. So anyways, enough about that. Let's get this early bird tournament fired. All right, let's look at some more of the contest details. So top 2 advance, per usual. Round 2 is 1 advances, 1 out of 12. Round 3 is 1 out of 12, and then round 4 is the payout field, which is paying out 136 people. All right, so we only need 2 right now. 2 more in this fills. Good morning, Benny. Good morning. Let's draft some Draftkings. I know, Tebow. What's going on? We have plenty of people watching, so I assumed that this would fill a little bit faster. Let's activate the power of the sickos. Let's get these last 2 spots filled and ready to go. And let's all enjoy our Sunday. I still have coffee left, which is not standard. So, yeah, so next week you should have Eric here, most likely is the game plan for now. I mean, subject to change. Card subject to change, as always. And I don't know what he'll do. I'm assuming maybe drafters? Maybe Draftkings? Although the Draftkings showing right now is not great. We've been filling up drafters a lot faster than Draftkings. So get in here. I'm dead money. Let's get these last 2 spots filled. We can talk through this first round. My question is, where are we going to see Ashton Chinty go once he gets drafted? Are we still leaving room for him to move up? Because it feels like people are going to push him up once he gets drafted, which is insane. How is that not already baked in? Is he going? Like, because you want him over Henry, right? I would assume. I would. Probably. So he's probably going to be tail end of the first round. Yeah, just not on our streams. We've been crushing on drafters. We just fire up a drafters draft and they've been filling right away. Yeah, I don't think he's going to jump that far. Oh my goodness, we get the 101. Look at us. We get the 101. That's fun. What are we going to do with it? What are we going to do with the 101? That is the question everybody is wondering. We are all wondering what the 101 is going to bring to myself in this draft. And do we want to have fun with it? Perhaps we do. Perhaps we want to have fun with the 101. This is the hell did I call this straight? The hot takes, the good vibes, and the Draftkings best ball stream. Be bold, go Saquon. We're not going to go Saquon. Spoiler alert. I'm so sore. We're not going to go Saquon. Not happening. I wish I could draft Saquon. I like the Eagles. That's something I would like to do. I can't draft Saquon this year again. And I didn't even hate Saquon last year. I don't know if you guys remember the talks around this time last year where I was fine with drafting Saquon as long as he didn't get too high. And he got a little too high. Well, clearly he didn't, but you know what I mean. But we're gonna bypass Jamar Chase here. We're not gonna draft him. We're gonna do something fun since we're not drafting a lot of teams. Let's flip the board for a player. I would love to do it for Nico because I'm a big Nico stan this year, but let's do it for Malik Neighbors. Let's take Malik Neighbors at the 101 and let's see what we can build for a team with Malik Neighbors from the 101. Flip the board a bit for Malik and get a different combination with him. I wish that we could. I'm gonna leave myself in this corner. You guys are gonna live with it. Speaking of Ohio, good morning, Josh. We are drafting from the 101 in this draft. For those of you just joining us, we took Malik Neighbors to flip the board to try to build a little bit different of a Malik Neighbors team than everybody else. And we'll see what we can do there. I mean, he gets an upgrade at quarterback no matter what this year. Say what you want about Russ. He's better than what they were rolling out there last year. And he can throw the moon ball. So, perfectly fine with Malik Neighbors with his quarterback situation. And we could even get a Jameis Winston sighting or two. Which, by the way, people were insane about the Jameis signing like he was going to be the starter. There's just no way. Without an injury or some sort of emergency situation, we are not seeing Jameis as a starter again in the NFL. No team is signing Jameis to be their starter. It's just not happening. All right, let's pull up the draft board. Let's see what happened in this first round. Anything crazy? Nope. Jamar, CeeDee Lamb gets pulled up a little bit. And we get the Barkley, Robinson, Gibbs run out. Moxie gets gifted Justin Jefferson. Amon-Ra goes after that. Puka, Thomas, Nico. Do see a Ginty Bowers 1-2 turn pick, which is fun. Yeah, we might get the Jameis games, but I'm not incorporating that into any draft strategy. It would have to be the proper run out. And I wouldn't even be shocked if, I mean, we've seen the Giants do it before where they bring in this backup quarterback and they still start Tommy DeVito over him. So I'm not even letting it enter my consciousness as why I would be drafting a player. But I still like Malik Neighbors, obviously. He's capable of absolutely being the wide receiver one this year. So we'll go ahead, we'll pull him up. We'll get a different run out with our Malik Neighbors team than others and see what we can build. The librarian grabs Bijan and Achane, which I like. But it feels like a very librarian move. Like, that is what a librarian would do. But I'm for it. KD Sports is getting an Eagles stack going with Barkley and A.J. Brown. We are on the clock now where we see stuff that we don't love, to be perfectly honest. We're going to grab Trey McBride. I think that's an easy pick here. And let's also grab JSN. So we got Malik Neighbors, JSN, Trey McBride to start the draft. Wasn't really feeling much else here. And obviously I love the quarterbacks, but I didn't want to go quarterback when I was going tight end there. Kyron's probably fine. I'd prefer him on other sites versus Draftkings. Although I feel like his 100-yard bonuses and touchdown equity really makes up for it on Draftkings. So he's probably fine. Yeah, we're fine with this. We will take it. Was told we're having fun in this draft. Maybe solo Bowers build. Ooh. Well, sir, maybe solo McBride build. I see your fun, and I up you that fun. Perhaps that's what we will do. We will gander. We will see if that is something we are interested in as we get through this draft. Don't be shocked if we go solo. If we go solo McBride. And just absolutely crushed the rest of the draft. We do have 3 quarterbacks off the board already with Josh Allen, Lamar, and Jaden Daniels. Moxie gets Jefferson, Drake, and Kyron. That's a fun start. Tis a fun start. Good morning, Duke. Hope your Sunday's going well. And the double click at wide receiver. That team is fun from the 12 hole. Going Jeanty Bowers, gets Devontae Adams, Xavier Worthy. It's a fun start. I like it. I've been coming up with a controversial take over this past week where I might just fade Brian Thomas this year. I want to fade a receiver or two in this range. It's not going to be Nico, I can tell you that. Shit, I would have really liked Hampton to fall back to us. That would have been perfection. But Tebow ends up grabbing him there. You see Chase Brown in the 4th, which I like Chase Brown a lot more in these pre-draft things because his value is fine in these drafts. So I would be taking more Chase Brown. I still think they can add through the draft, obviously, but I think that with bringing in P. Ryan, Chase Brown has a very good role for a 4th round running back. We're going to be on the clock here in a second. I think we're going to grab Metcalf. And the Rice stuff is starting to get really positive. I think we're going to grab Rice as well. So, wasn't intending a 0 RB build, but here we are with Neighbors, McBride, JSN, DK Metcalf, Rashee Rice. So, pretty fine with that. The Burrow drafter had Higgins, so looks like the Jamar Chase drafter just didn't want him, which is fine. I also wouldn't want 4th or 5th round Joe Burrow, not at a high frequency. I am trying to figure out how I want to play stacks this year because obviously I do want stacks. I'm not saying I want to fade them, but in terms of drafting players, and we talk about like the basics of drafting where a basic ownership percentage is 8%. And if you start taking guys like Jamar Chase, and you do want to stack him with Joe Burrow even at the cost somewhat, and he's going to be hard to get in general, because he's going, as you see, the 101 on DraftKings, slides a few other places here and there. But if you're only going to get 8% of Jamar Chase, how much do you want to invest in getting Joe Burrow? Do you want 1% of that 8% to be Joe Burrow teams? Do you want 2%? What are we looking for in that aspect? And I mean, obviously that fluctuates versus players that you take later in drafts because it's easier to sort of make those combinations happen. Chase is the extreme, especially when his quarterback does go earlier. You have to make the decision quicker. AJ Brown with Hurts is obviously another one, and McLaurin and Daniels is going to be tough as well. But overall, how often do you want to, what is like that right percentage per player? I mean, it's obviously fluctuating, but that's stuff that I'm going to be thinking about this year. So like, let's just say, for example, oh my God, Baker Mayfield in the 6th round is what we're doing. I mean, I'm never doing that, but he does have a whole Buccaneers thing going on here. Well, let's just say Justin Jefferson. Let's say he's the guy that I'm going to get 16 to 18% of somehow. That's my decision is I want 16 to 18% Justin Jefferson. How much of that do I want to tie to JJ McCarthy? 3%, 2%? And that's some of the stuff that I'm going to be watching this year. Which guys do I want it more with? Those are the things that I'm going to be. I don't want to. One of the things that happens when I go overweight a guy is sometimes we're looking at them and we end up just inflating our ownership of a quarterback that we don't want that much of because we wanted his wide receiver so much. So I need to make sure that's something I'm comfortable with in terms of that particular quarterback, and that I'm not inflating a guy that I just had no desire to inflate. I think we just grab Mahomes to go with Rice. I think that's pretty simple. And I would like to grab a running back possibly. Let's grab Judkins. That's the way we will play that. Yeah, I get that, Michael. However, my whole thing is just, if that's what you wanted, there's never anything wrong with that. But I never want to succumb to I have to take this guy because he's not coming around if I feel like he's not my best pick. And he may have been your best pick there. So I'm not knocking it. I am just trying to think through all scenarios. I'll trade you Judkins for Amarion Hampton if you want. Seems like a fair deal. Seems fair to me. And now, the flip side of that, we know how Draftkings is with quarterbacks. They go a lot earlier, so I don't ever think it's bad locking up your first quarterback. Mayfield in the 6th seems steep, though, in my opinion. So if that's his standard ADP on DraftKings, I will just be underweight, even if I draft Evans or Godwin. I'd prefer, you just saw Kyler Murray go late 7th. I'd prefer him to Mayfield all day, every day. But not bad. makes sense for the team. See Golden go in the 8th round here. Another guy that's going to move up after the draft for sure. Josh Downs, one of my favorite players, goes here in the 8th round as well. One of my favorite players in terms of ADP and stuff, especially like on Draftkings. Downs on Draftkings could be an absolute cheat code this year on this site. Something that I do like quite a bit. Well, he would have fallen back to you because I'm still not taking Travis Hunter. I'm not falling for it. I'm not falling for the Travis Hunter thing. I'm just going to say that right now. Absolutely not falling for the Travis Hunter thing. He's going to play corner. I'm convinced he's playing corner. And I might be take locked. Probably am take locked on that. I don't think he's going to get enough snaps at wide receiver. I think it's just insane to take him where he's been going. And it's a hard pass for me. We are on the clock here. Caleb Johnson seems like a fun pick. Let's do that. What else can we do here? And let's take Ramondre. So the team so far is Mahomes, Judkins, Caleb Johnson, Malik Neighbors, JSN, DK Metcalf, Trey McBride, Rashee Rice, Ramondre Stevenson. What's going on, Olaf? Well, Tebow, this is sort of like the way everyone has to play Hunter. Like, you have to sort of make a line in the sand, and if you're wrong, you're just wrong. I think we can all say that about how we feel about Travis Hunter. There are multiple outcomes for him, for sure. And however someone wants to interpret what he's going to do in the NFL, I don't besmirch them by any means. It is just harder in the NFL. So, like, if he, as a player, he should want to play wide receiver. Because there's more money there. Like, if he ends up being a just absolute stud at receiver, there's more money there. There's more glory and all that fun stuff. However, it is tough to be a corner in the NFL. And if you can be one of the elite corners in the NFL, you can lock yourself up contracts for decades, even when you're not good. Look at Patrick Peterson. That dude still was making tons and tons of, who's still getting contracts even well past his prime when he was getting burnt. But there just are not as many good shutdown corners in the league. So if he can be an actual shutdown corner, that is so vital to a team. If I'm him, I want to play receiver. But he's going to be a first rounder. He's got 4 years to prove it. He's got to prove it over the course of 4 years to get that likely 5th-year option and then make his money. So but I do expect him to get some snaps at receiver, but I just think they're gonna play him at corner. I would play him at corner if I was drafting him. And if you're playing him at corner, you are limiting the shit out of his wide receiver snaps. I don't care what anyone says. Like, he is his receiver share, his receiver snap numbers are going to be putrid if he ends up playing corner. And you almost can't do both as a starting receiver. You're either a corner that can play some receiver, you're barely ever a receiver that plays some corner. There are obvious exceptions, especially here in New England, but that was a lot of stuff that was very much like just absolutely needed. I'm going to grab Bateman here, and we're going to grab Drake May and wrap up quarterback with Mahomes and May. So I understand that we can't always work off of historical things. Some players are outliers, but that is the outlier of all outliers. If he's a starting wide receiver and then just plays some corner, like that, just you can't mesh that way on a defense. Also true, Tebow, but you are giving, but how many weeks do we think that's going to be a thing? And then you're starting to incorporate draft capital. And 3 to 4 catches is still a lot of catches, especially if he's playing. I mean, if he's coming in, they might be by design so that he's just getting force fed like more than the average wide receiver when he's in the game. But yeah, it's a lot of, for me, I'm just out. I think there's too many variables at the moment. If I'm wrong, I'm screwed though. Like I get that point too. If I'm wrong, I am hurting. Especially the earlier in these drafts when you could have got them, way later in drafts. If you ever want to lock up you're also talking to the guy that just locked up the quarterback and the running back of the New England Patriots. So there's that. I'm also the guy that thinks that Aaron Rodgers is still going to the Minnesota Vikings as well. So, I mean, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Take literally everything I say with a grain of salt because I think Rodgers to the Vikings still happens. Get some NCAA tournament today. We got baseball back. Get the NFL draft coming up. One thing I would like to do when I'm in Ohio, which I will not be able to do this time, but at some point in the future, is I really do want to go to the NFL Hall of Fame. I really would like to get to the NFL Hall of Fame. And I am overdue to go back to the NBA Hall of Fame, which I have no excuse on. It is less than 2 hours away from me, and I don't think I've been to the NBA Hall of Fame since I was 17 or 18. So that is something I need to get back to. I'll try to get there in the next year or so, maybe. All right, we are coming up on the clock here, where everything is shit and we hate it. I'm gonna grab Keenan Allen. I feel like with the receivers we have, he's a pretty good click. And then I'm gonna add on and grab Trey Benson because what is a Sunday Sicko stream without me drafting Trey Benson? one of my favorite clicks on the board, so we might as well do it with our 2-4-6-1 build currently. Who's taking Thielen? My guess is Ragnar 63 takes Adam Thielen. Tis my guess, but I could be wrong. Perhaps it's somebody else. Josh Palmer, Buffalo Bill. I am excited for the draft, though. I am excited to get those first 2 to 3 rounds done, so we sort of can flesh out these drafts, know exactly where people are, understand what to do with some of these borderline players, watch players stock fall immensely. All right, let's move to our next song. Thielen goes to Peter Pev. Peter Pev grabs Thielen. He had Nico, Derrick Henry, DJ Moore, James Cook, Kenneth Walker, Waddle, Caleb Williams, Jonnu, Christian Kirk, Stroud, Tua, Quentin Johnson, Adam Thielen, Cedric Tillman. God, Tillman's a guy that can go from getting picked in this range to just absolute zero after the draft. Or perhaps moves up a little bit. Where is the draft this year? This isn't the Green Bay draft, is it? Only a 3-hour drive one way. Wild. Wild. I can't imagine wanting to go to the NFL draft. Doesn't that seem boring AF? Like, I like watching it at home. That's gotta be a miserable experience. I can't imagine the draft being fun. Like like it's more fun for us, right? Because of who we are and what we're looking at. Let's grab Ray Davis. Actually, let's grab Javonte. I think Javonte is a tough click right now, but let's grab Javonte. And we'll grab RJ Harvey. Gonna do a 2-6-6-1 build at the moment. Just really get into the 0 RB mode. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess that's what you're looking for if you're going there. You can meet a bunch of people, maybe. Perhaps that would be the goal. But the overall experience, just, I don't know, man. I think I'm good. I think that's one sporting event that I don't need to attend. Like even if it's here in New England, would I go? I don't think it'll ever be in New England. Our stadium's not in Boston. Our stadium's actually like 30 minutes from my house. It's like it's in Foxborough, as a lot of people know. Like Foxborough is just a town. Foxborough is just this random town with an NFL stadium. Wild. And getting to Foxborough Stadium on like game days and stuff is just a disaster. I don't think I want to go sit through a disaster of traffic to watch a bunch of offensive linemen get picked in the first round. Yeah, I think I'm all set. I think it's a pass for me, and I'm not traveling for the draft. If I'm traveling, like if I want to go to Lambeau, it's for a game. Like that is one of the stadiums I would love to go see a game at. I'm not traveling there to go to the draft. Drive 3 hours from Michigan. Fuck out of here. Oh damn, Josh. I was looking back at that Trey Lance trade and I forgot that it was 3 first rounders. What was San Francisco doing? I tried to warn everybody. Tried to warn you guys about Trey Lance. I weirdly remember where I was for that draft. I was working that weekend on Block Island in Rhode Island. I remember the small ass TV in the hotel room I was watching that draft on. No, I understand, Benny. I'm just saying, like, I'm just not paying inflated hotel prices to go to the draft. Just let me go to I just go to a Packers game. Seems more fun. All right, we're coming back up on the clock here. Ooh, what do we do? I think it's pretty obvious who our 2 picks are in this draft. In this draft, round 16. We're gonna grab Pop Douglas, and did somebody just grab Braylon Allen? Because that was the other pick that I was going to make. So that's pretty lame. So let's grab Demario Douglas, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Nick Chubb as a 7th RB because he feels like the guy that moves up when he gets picked up by a team after the draft. We don't love it, but he is a touchdown guy. And it takes everybody pulling their weight to make a 0 RB team work. And we'll pinch our nose and take guys like Nick Chubb. Cheesesteak Rebellion is Wisconsin trying to take the cheesecake and the cheesesteak game away from Philadelphia. I'm going to be honest. I've been to Philadelphia and I went to one of the 2 places you're supposed to get a Philadelphia cheesesteak. Not great. That is not a food I would be advertising as like one of my things if I'm a Philadelphia native. Like, you have to try the cheesesteak. It's fine. It's edible. I've never craved it. I never had it, and I'm like, man, I really need another Philadelphia cheesesteak from Pat's or wherever the hell I went to. Not something I crave is the Philadelphia cheesesteak. Will I eat it? Yes. So there's that. My plans for Ohio is I'm eating at the Haunted House restaurant in Cleveland. Then, just for content purposes, I'm going to eat at least one or two pizzas from the state of Ohio because they don't have good pizza in Ohio. So that's a fact. And I'm going to prove it that they have terrible pizza. So that is the game plan for food right now for Ohio next weekend. Ohio, I think their slogan is "Don't come here for the food or anything." I think that is the Ohio slogan. Where are Angelo's and Il Rione, Josh? I'm guessing Cleveland. Yeah, New Haven pizza is really good. New Haven is really good. It's its own thing though. Like I really like New Haven pizza. I haven't been in a while for a New Haven pizza. I like New York pizza. I love South Shore, Massachusetts pizza. That is near and dear to my heart, obviously. But those are the three big ones to me. So I am not doing Franklin Castle when I come to Ohio. We had to pivot because that place was a disaster to deal with. So I'm flying into Cleveland on Saturday. We're grabbing lunch at the Haunted House restaurant around noon, and then we're driving down to Newark, Ohio. So I'm only going to be in and out of Cleveland really quick for this trip. So I won't be able to eat anywhere else in Cleveland. And then we're flying out of Columbus. But that is our game plan right now. We are on the clock. We're 2771. I think I want to grab Elijah Mitchell. That Kansas City job is awkward. So we might as well do that. Who's drafting Tank Dell this year? Somebody explain that to me. Tolbert feels like a bad click right now, but we're going to do it. You never heard of Newark, Ohio? I'll tell you what. I'm not an Ohio guy, clearly. I mean, I'm joking half the time. Newark, Ohio looks kind of rad. So Newark, Ohio, we're going there because we've got an entire decommissioned prison to ourselves for the night. It has a really cool history. I won't bore you guys with it. I know not everyone's into that, but they have a really cool history at this prison that we're going to. But the center of Newark, Ohio is built around their courthouse, which looks like an absolute castle. And it's really cool looking. Like, it's really awesome. There's a cemetery that I'm excited to visit as well. But they also have this building. I'll show it at the end, maybe. I'll show the courthouse and I'll show this building. But this building, Newark, Ohio, was home to the largest picnic basket manufacturer in the country, maybe the world at one point. And they built their headquarters to resemble a giant picnic basket. So like even like sort of juts out. So like I was reading about the architecture because I'm a psychopath of this place. So it's like got the picnic basket, it juts out. It was tough for them to create the architecture for. And then the top has the handle, like the two handles for the picnic basket, and those are heated so that ice can't fall on it. And then the company went out of business. So absolutely wild. I'll show the courthouse, and I will show I'll show that building afterwards as well. I'll show you guys the castle. For those that want to see that stuff, we'll do that after this draft, which is wrapping up here momentarily. Let's get back on players. What do we have right now for a build? We have a 2881 build. And I think we're going to keep it that way in terms of the onesie positions. We're going to do that solo Trey McBride build for this one. Get everybody really angry with us. That's what we like to do. We're on the clock. We're just going to do some scrolling and some vibing and figure out who we like. It ain't much. Tutu? Tutu feels like a fun 20th round pick. They just gave him too much money. All right. We'll grab Tutu. Let's look at our team. We went Mahomes, Judkins, Caleb Johnson, Malik Neighbors, JSN, DK Metcalf, Trey McBride for a solo tight end build, Rashee Rice, Ramondre Stevenson, Rashad Bateman, Drake May, Keenan Allen, Trey Benson, Javonte Williams, RJ Harvey, Pop Douglas, Nick Chubb, Elijah Mitchell, Jalen Tolbert, to Atwell. How far is that from the... Is that really far from the airport, Josh? Let me know now. I haven't really looked into that. I mean, we have time. It's not like a huge thing. But let me know about that. All right. So that was that draft. I will show you guys. Let's start with the prison that I'm going to be going to. Don't like that view. So this is essentially what this prison that I'm going to have for the night looks like. So I'm excited to go here and check this place out. I have not seen this little frog thing, so that's fun. Glad to know that to look out for that. Some really crazy stories associated with this place. But it looks like a castle. So we're excited for that. Show you the Licking County Courthouse, which I think is really cool. So this is sort of, this is their courthouse. That's not a great photo. Disregard. But as you can see, this thing is just absolutely massive. And like the entire town square is built around it. Oh, a 30 to 40 minute drive. Wow, crazy. And then they do this during Christmas time, where they kind of see the courthouse. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we're doing the haunted house place just because we are going to invite some of our listeners to grab lunch with us. So sort of a themed thing for us on that. Otherwise, we would probably just grab pizza and bounce because I think it's a 2-hour drive to Newark from there. What was I going to look up? Oh, the picnic basket. This is wild. So this is the picnic basket building. Crazy. So that's where we'll be going. But next week you will not have me because that's where I'll be getting video of that stuff, hanging out in prisons, all of that fun stuff. Thank you guys for joining me here on this Sunday Sickos. It was a lot of fun doing the Draftkings draft. Excited for the draft, the NFL draft. Just not excited to go to it. We'll never go to it unless it makes sense to. That's going to do it for me. I will catch you guys in 2 weeks, and I'll catch you in the lab on Wednesday. Probably. All right. Peace. Woo! Those were some spicy spicy takes. Want to stay up to date with all of the other spicy takes we're going to have over here at Spike Week? Why don't you press that subscribe button below? You turn notifications on, we draft a team, boom, you know about it. We have another spicy take, boom, you know about it. You can be there, you can draft with us. You want to stay up to date? That's how you do it. All right, we'll catch you later next time here at Spike Week.